there, Alana Corso, managing broker, co-founding partner of Dwell Realtors, coming to you this week to share 3 tips of businesses I've learned about since shelter-in-place started. With shelter-in-place and quarantine starting back in March, I think there's a lot we've all learned in having to be flexible and nimble and dynamic to kind of ebb and flow with what we were allowed to do and errands we were allowed to run and kind of to keep our lives running as smoothly as possible. And I came across these different tips, and I thought they'd be great to share because I thought they were super cool different services. So the first one of my best friends is a local doctor, and she turned me on to the prescription pharmacy delivery company called NowRx. So they're based in Mountain View, and your doctor can, send in your prescription through them and choose them, just like they can Walgreens or CVS. And they will deliver, usually same day, depending if they have it in stock, your prescription to your home once you load in all of your profile information and your insurance information. One of the last places that I wanted to step foot into during shelter-in-place and quarantine is, my local Walgreens or CVS. The lines are always, terribly long. They're crowded. I feel kind of like it's a cesspool, germ pool. So having the ability to have prescriptions delivered to our doorstep was, I thought, revolutionary. I've always been a big advocate of grocery delivery services and whatnot, but the prescription delivery service to my doorstep was cool. So it's NowRx, and you can find them here and download the app store, but super cool, and it's been very easy for me and my family to use to get our prescriptions. So another way we had to be flexible and kind of nimble is, we never hit the toilet paper hoarding phenomenon. I still don't understand why people were, stockpiling toilet paper. But one of the realities that kind of hit my husband and I was when we went into one of our local grocery stores and saw their normally very well supplied meat counter completely empty. That's what gave me pause. I have, Italian grandma syndrome by marriage. My husband's family is Italian, and I always have to have too much food at my house, and feel like we have, I always have to have enough. And so not being able to get meat was something that kind of did give us pause. And some friends of ours introduced us to 2 different very cool delivery services. One, ButcherBox, which was around before the pandemic and shelter-in-place and all that. We just hadn't started utilizing it, but you can order super high-quality meats, chicken, pork, fish, all different things. Set up it's like a subscription service where you can get monthly deliveries, but super high quality, same prices as what you would pay at the grocery store. We've been super, super pleased with all of our deliveries we've received. Another one that a friend introduced us to is a local fish company called Water to Table. And they're actually, commercial fishermen that provide fish and, seafood to local restaurants. But because most local restaurants have had to, basically scale back operations considerably in only doing, takeout or curbside pickup, this is a way that they will now deliver to home residences, which is pretty cool. So they will send an email out daily, tell you what the fishermen are catching. You can place your order up till 9 p.m. the evening before. We left we've been leaving a cooler out on our front porch with some cold packs in it so they can put the different fish from, our amazing local, Bay Area seafood that we can get. And it's been pretty easy, and again, also super high quality, where we're even getting our kids to try eating some more fish and kind of broaden their horizons. So that was another one called Water to Table. So the third way that I think, which was kind of a cool, it's not necessarily a tip, but it's a pivot again, is my daughter had a very glamorous ingrown toenail. And a lot of the doctors will not see you unless it's essential, right? And I think ingrown toenail, gross as it may be, is arguably probably not super essential, since it wasn't like red hot and inflamed. It was just bugging her a lot. But we did our first video teleconference doctor visit with her pediatrician, and her pediatrician was sitting in her home, and we did it over my phone, and Leah got to show her doctor her toe and answer all the questions. And it just goes to show, like, the technology that we're utilizing to be, like I talk about, nimble, dynamic, and flexible through these challenging times, is revolutionary, and allowing, the doctor to continue to see patients, patients that, don't have super urgent things, to continue to get, whatever they need for them. So that was cool. And, it was our same sweet, awesome pediatrician, and to be able to see her face to face, as opposed to maybe just over a phone call, which, she couldn't really examine her toe if she was between a phone call, obviously. And I don't think it will replace ever the face-to-face interaction that you have with your doctor, with your doctor-patient relationship, but it definitely is something that allows for us to get what we need in that time. So those are just my few little things that maybe, you haven't done any of it or heard of any of these companies or services or tips. And, I'd love to hear what you've, done since shelter-in-place quarantine started that is different you weren't using before, a company service tip. Love to hear them. It helps us if we can support local businesses and continue, supporting all of this around us. It, kind of helps make our world go round. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you next week, and take care.